Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1490 with Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider's book, The Rules Handbook, a guide to creating loving and lasting relationships by the New York Times best-selling authors of The Rules. I have these upside down, upside down, upside down, right side up, shit, and right side up. Come on. Oh my god. Thanks. Okay, that's the rules. The rules. Okay, well, anyway, so I know the books. Here we go. We're in week 5 of the course, Create Respectful Marriages and Partnerships. We're in week 5, which has you learning effective marriage communication. Effective marriage communication. I couldn't get it into the title because it had a 50-character limit. So it's supposed to say effective marriage communication. Your Rules Weekly Pep Talk. When you can effectively communicate with your marriage partner, your home life will run smoothly. Marriage has more to do with your mindset than your circumstances. When your higher self focuses on the many things you could be grateful for and you cheer each other on every day, then the odds of finding a win-win solution in your daily battles will increase. Married women often think, if only I had more money, more childcare, more vacations, then I would be happy. The reality is, you can have all of these things and still want more or fight about your vacation or whine about all the things you don't have instead of being thankful for what you do have. Gratitude is key to creating a happy marriage. Emmett Fox tells a story about helping people with emotional problems and depression. He stated that he enjoyed working with wealthy people the most. Wealthy people the most. Why? Not because they could pay his fee or make a large donation. Working with the wealthy actually saved him many hours of treatment because these clients already knew that money didn't solve their problems. They were rich and still had problems. This allowed Fox to get straight to the source of the problem without the client resisting. So many times people come in for help thinking, if I could just have $1,000, I could solve my problem and be happy again. Fox says money doesn't solve problems, and the wealthy already know that. This week, focus on being happy you married the person you wanted and that you are blessed with so many wonderful experiences and memories with him every day, regardless of your financial situation or how you feel about what is not going your way. If you're not there dating again, if you're not out there dating again, you're having a good married life. See? Points out something that we ought to say is obvious if we're married, because the dating life is really hard. Tell me about it. Yeah. Effective marriage communication, daily rules. Day 293. Day 295. Change yourself, not your partner. The institution of marriage was not created to make you happy all the time. Committed, committed relationships with others are meant to bring out our higher self. Change your thoughts, not your husband, and you will have a happier marriage. Everybody wants their husbands to change, but nobody wants to change themselves or their attitude. Changing other people without changing yourself is an exercise in futility and a waste of time. If you think your marriage is good and your husband is a good guy, faithful, goes to work, plays sports with the kids, then count your blessings. Day 296. Stop complaining. Sometimes married clients complain their husband isn't handier around the house. I do everything. Doesn't spend more time with their children. I feel like a single mom. Doesn't have the best bedside manner. He was talking to his boss while driving me to surgery. Or screws up their supermarket order. I said organic. It's easy to expect your husband to be more helpful or thoughtful or the father of the year, but how would you feel if he wasn't there at all? When you feel annoyed by him, pause and try to remember that no one was helping you before you were married. Your roommate and parents don't count. Don't compare him to Superman. Compare him to no one and appreciate all that he does. People are good in the inside, no matter who they are. Their bottom line, they're good. Even if they look like they're not good, they're still good. There's a level of them that's still good. Day 297. You might have to dig deep, like Zen. Zen digs deeply, digs deeply, digs deeply. It's called Chan in Chinese. There are 3 levels of it. Zen. So everybody is good. Everybody is good. Everybody is good. Everybody is good. Day 297. Let your partner be right. If you want to be happily married, let your husband be right. We're not saying he's actually always right, but see the situation from his point of view. Let him win some battles and save your energy for the big issues. For example, a client's husband told her, "You left the refrigerator door open while you were cutting vegetables," instead of just closing the door. She felt it necessary to say, "Well, sometimes you leave it open too, and I don't tell you." He got defensive and they bickered about who does what. Then, when he left the refrigerator door open the next day, she triumphantly pointed it out and he said, "You don't have to rub it in." If she had just closed the refrigerator door and not said anything, he would not have been so angry. But her lower self was at work. She wanted to win a useless argument and, of course, regretted it. Don't be childish and pick your battles. I've done that before. I had a party guest come in and close my refrigerator door. Those were the days, in my 20s. Day 298. Don't be defensive. A client's husband complained she was rude to the nanny. She told him, "Maybe you're putting me down to make yourself feel better because you didn't get that promotion." Playing armchair psychologist made him angrier. "No, it's because you were rude." She continued to defend herself and they didn't speak all weekend. We advised her to say, "You may have a point. If you want to get along with your husband, consider it might be the truth and don't get defensive." We did a childhood and dating history consultation with this client, and guess what? Several ex-boyfriends, bosses, and roommates also found her rude. We told her to work on that. I was once told that I was being very negative, and this was on a trip to Monterey, California. It was a group of us, about 15. Some of we slept all over the condo that was rented. I slept on the couch and in a sleeping bag. It was great, that fun trip. But when I spoke, there was a point in the conversation when I had spoken for a little bit longer, and somebody said, "Do you always have to be so negative?" And then all of them were looking at me. And I thought, hmm. So from that point on, I remembered that. I still remember that. And this was in my 20s. This was in my 20s. I'm in my 50s right now. I still remember that. So do remember something like that. Okay? Don't worry. It's fine. Just work on it. Day 299. Wording. Some people say, "It's not what you say, it's how you say it." We believe it's what you say and how you say it. Don't tell your husband, "I can't believe you forgot our anniversary." Say, "I'd love to celebrate our anniversary at that new Thai restaurant." No one likes a guilt tripper or scorekeeper. The same applies to adult children. If you want them to call, or text more often, don't say, I never hear from you. Say, good to hear from you when they do call. Assume they are busy and don't text. Don't text. Ask them lots of questions or tell them what to do. Day 300. He means well. You tell your husband that you're overwhelmed by all the things you have to do and need a break. He says, a break from what? So you explain that besides work, you have to deal with daycare, playdates, and your parents, as well as exercise, clean, and do errands. He still doesn't see what's so hard. That's because he's a man, and most men like to solve problems, not complain or explain. The problem is you're expecting sympathy from a man. If you called a woman and told her your to-do list and that you needed a break, she would say, of course. So tell your girlfriends. In the rules, the rules book, uh, um, the original book, they said that you should call like all six of your girlfriends instead of. Let me see if this is holding it up. You should call all of your girlfriends instead of calling the man. Can you see it now? Sorry. Okay. He means well. Need a break. Day 301. Be an efficiency expert. A client wanted a client called to say that she and her husband had a fight and wanted to know how she could have handled it better. They both work full time while raising 10-year-old twins, yet he expects her to make all the restaurant reservations and book vacations, in addition to planning play dates and handling the holidays. She told him, why don't you call the restaurant? I have a million things to do today. They bickered for 10 minutes about who does more. We said, in the time you argued, you could have made reservations. Don't be right, be efficient. The efficiency expert. Efficiency is a big thing. Efficiency is when, for example, I go to swim. Efficiency is when you put in the energy and the energy you put in gives you results. And efficiency is when you get as many results as are physically possible. So when you're angry, you're not getting results. You're arguing and complaining. Those don't get results. Results come from sweet words. By the way, it's Chinese New Year Day 2 out of 15 that are celebrated. Um, in the Chinese dinners and parties for the New Year, there are candies set aside. Candies. And why are the candies there? The candies are there so that we can say sweet words. This is a metaphor in Chinese too. Sweet words. The mouth has to have sweet words. So everybody is given a piece of candy and expected to eat it right there and then. So everybody will think, okay, now their words are sweet, But if somebody refuses to eat that candy, then people will look at them and say, come on, be sweet. Come on, try, And then they'll kind of be persuaded to at least put it in their mouth for a little while. And they'll go, whew, you know? Jeez. There are signs that say no spitting in my gym. Where did it come from? Oh my gosh. And that sound of spitting is like, please don't do that, And I think that the world has changed a bit, but men and women haven't changed at all. So, in creating loving and lasting relationships, you are working on wording, you are working on changing yourself, not your partner. You are working on stopping complaining. You are working on let your partner be right. You're working on don't be defensive. You're working on wording. You're working on the fact that he means well. and you're working on being an efficiency expert. That is a really cool line to remember. Let's be efficient. Let's be efficient. What's going to be efficient? If I say these words, is that going to be efficient? Okay, no. And think of the highest and best use. Again, a real estate term. The highest and best use of your time speaking. What are the words going to bring about? Am I going to bring, oh, that flat tire, we haven't fixed it yet. I need to get the car to the store. No. Let's say, oh, I'd like to get to the store. Would you mind please fixing that tire today? Yeah, um, something sweet. And if you have to, just get some candy and put it in your house, and use a candy dish, a beautiful candy dish, a silver or crystal candy dish, and just put it on your table, and always have some little wrapped candies there, not big Hershey's bars or anything like that, just small ones, and make them so that if they're wrapped, it's better. Then people take one at a time. If you feel like you want to say something mean, or you want to argue, or you're mad, go there and take that candy and eat it. I mean, it's just a minute that I would do. I would be contemplating while I'm making it melt. And I guess you want to get one that will melt, and hard candy will make you wait forever. So you won't ever say those words. But I think it works a lot if you do that. Oh, he's a man, and most men like to solve problems, not complain or explain. A friend told me that in her corporate world, when you bring up a problem, apparently male bosses tend to like it when you actually produce a suggestion for a solution at the end of your complaint, so that they can try to implement an action in order to address your issues that you bring up as your concern. So that's a good idea. Apply the rules to achieve your higher self. Number one, don't think that fighting is normal or that all couples fight. Actor George Clooney claims that he and his human rights lawyer wife Amal have never had a fight. Let them be your role model for marriage. Don't assume it's because they're millionaires. Many wealthy couples fight and divorce. No, we believe it's because they are both philanthropists. When your mind is on important issues with your higher self, you have no time to quarrel or be petty lower self. Candies. Number two, when your husband drives you crazy with his OCD, or what's that, obsessive compulsive disorder, um, when your husband drives you crazy with his OCD or daily mishigas, remind yourself that he is doing it, not doing it to you. Your husband is not trying to annoy you, he just happens to be annoying. It's not personal, which should take the sting out of it and help you not react and go about your business unaffected. Right. They could have an explosion somewhere right there and not react. The interesting thing is that pets, like cats, dogs might react a lot, cats might react a lot, but there are some cats that will sit there and something will fall when you're changing a light bulb from the ceiling, the entire thing will fall, and something will roll over to in front of the cat, and the cat won't move. The cat will just be watching. So that's the kind of thing that we're trying to do here, to go about your business unaffected. Like, oh, that's just them having an explosion over there. Do your thing. Number three, if you grew up with screamers or yell when you argue, take a deep breath, pause, and try to talk softly or even whisper. Your husband will tune you out if you scream, but his ears will perk up if you whisper, as it's both refreshing and feminine. Your soft spoken message will be heard more clearly than shouting it. That's very interesting. There are people who have advised, what's that man's name? H. Jackson Brown Jr. He advised in his book, Life's Little Instruction Book. He has 3 of them. The first one he wrote to his son going off to college. He said, if you're in an argument, lower your voice to the level that the person has to stop talking to listen to what you say. So that's more effective. Like if you scream, his ears will tune out. And if you want to try to talk softly or whisper, I suppose you could say, I am so tired of this problem. You know, at least that person will say, hey, oh, hi, good morning. Oh, I know. We when we've been with somebody for a long time, I was with somebody for 9 years, not married, but it was interesting. He would tune out my voice and he would not listen to me, and he would do the opposite of what I wanted. One time we were driving to a memorial, and we were right at the church in the back. And I said, maybe we need to go around the block to find parking. And it was the block that was next to the church. However, we did not know that this block was 2 miles long, actually. It had trees in it. And so he was driving into away and away and away, and we were getting to be a quarter mile away. And I was saying, turn the car around. The one thing I didn't say was turn the car around, please. I kept on saying, I can't believe you're driving this way. I can't believe you're going forward. I can't believe what you're doing right now. You're always doing this. You're always doing exactly the opposite of what I want. And he continued even faster the other way. He did this twice. We finally eventually got around that block, but if I had only lowered my voice and said, honey, let's turn around, okay? It would have been better. But I wasn't going to say that. I guess at that point, I really should have broken up by the time. You have to say next when the guy is not your type. And he did it twice. He did it another time in San Francisco. And a male cousin was in the car with us. So there are 2 men sitting in front, and both of them are getting annoyed at me. I was saying, you should have turned right, not left. And he keeps going and going. I said, gosh, would you stop doing that? And he pressed the accelerator and should go faster the wrong way. My cousin later told me, even I got annoyed at you. But he didn't say anything at the time. So the male brain works very differently. The more you yell, the worse it becomes. The more you whisper, the more effective you can be. And the more gently you speak, the more feminine you are, the more results you will get. Okay, so I'm going to say thank you for coming. Okay, hold, kinder hug. Bye-bye.